In this video I will show you my top 10 favorite day hikes in New Zealand. Royce Peak is the number 1 day hike near Wanaka. The trek starts at the Royce Peak Trek car park 6 km from Wanaka. From here you will gradually climb for 8 km to reach the summit. On the well-formed path there are several options to have a break, and on a clear day the backdrop of Lake Wanaka is just stunning. You will reach the summit after a climb of 1200 meters, and this can be challenging. Take in the breathtaking views over the surrounding area from here before descending along the same path. Doc advises to schedule 5 to 6 hours to complete the 16 km in total, and in summer it might be busy and the car park can fill up quickly, so be here early. Mount Taranaki. This dormant volcano extends well above the clouds, and at 2518 meters it offers spectacular scenery. The perfectly cone-shaped volcano is a very popular but also very strenuous day trip. Make sure you start early to allow plenty of time and to get a great sunrise over the central plateau. The trek starts at the North Egmont car park 29 km south of New Plymouth. It's steep in places, and the first part takes you up the buffer to the lodge, from where a few flights of steps lead to the very steep gravel slopes. Here you're likely to ascend 3 steps and slide 1 back. Once you reach the Lizard with its rocky ridges, you can climb through the crater entrance and over the crater ice for the final short climb to the summit. Please respect Maori cultural values and do not stand on the very top rock. They regard the mountain as a living ancestor, and standing on the head is a serious offense for Maori. Nevertheless, the views over the coastline are amazing. On a clear day you can even see the mountains of the South Island. But be aware, the weather can change quickly. On the day of our ascent the clouds came in, and 10 minutes later there were no views at all. This makes the day trip one of the most challenging and should only be undertaken in appropriate weather conditions. According to Doc, it takes 5 to 6 hours to ascend and 3 to 4 hours to get down again. The Coromandel coastal walkway offers great views along the dramatic coastline, and the bright colors make this very well worth the effort. The trek starts either at Fletcher Bay or Stony Bay, 50 to 60 km north of Coromandel town, along windy gravel roads. The terrain covers mostly farmland and coastal forest, with only a few steep sections. It's part of an old horse riding path that was used by early pioneers to link both bays. Many viewing points along the trek provide fabulous views, and it will take about 7 hours to complete the total of 20 km return. Hooker Valley Trek, one of the best day hikes in the Southern Alps to be fascinated by the beauty of Mount Cook. The trek starts at the White Horse Hill campground 2 km from Mount Cook village. This easy walk will take you along a few swing bridges with stunning views over the Muller Lake. At the end of the trek you will have spectacular views over the Hooker Lake with many ice blocks in front of the fascinating Mount Cook or Aoraki. It's most recommended to be here early enough to see the first sunlight of the eyes of the mountain for the best views. Mount Holdsworth offers fantastic views over the Tongariro Ranges, standing at 1475 meters. The trek starts at the Mount Holdsworth car park 17 km from Masterton. The first few kilometers are flat and through beech forest. The gentle climb to Powell Hut is also called Gentle Henny and is well signposted. From Powell Hut it's a short but steep climb to reach the summit. You will be very exposed to the weather, so favorable conditions are required. The views over the peaks of the Tongariro Ranges are amazing. The trek is 22 km in total and will take 8 to 9 hours. The Tongariro Crossing is by far the most popular day trip among tourists in New Zealand. The challenging hike starts at the Mangatapopo Valley, 10 km away from Whakapapa village. Parking spaces are limited, so you'd best organize a shuttle. You will walk through the South Crater before climbing to the Red Crater. From the highest point, the colourful Emerald Lakes are clearly visible with the Blue Lake in the distance. It's fascinating to walk between the immense volcanoes of the Central Plateau. After passing the Blue Lake, the trek continues through forest to the road end. A one-way trip is 19.4 km and will take approximately 7 to 8 hours. The Cape Reinga to Werahi Twilight Loop offers sweeping views over the coastline of the North Island. The trek starts at the Cape Reinga Lighthouse and drops down to Te Werahi Beach. This is an important place for wetland birds, and you will continue your way along the wild coastline for a few kilometers before reaching the turnoff to Cape Maria van Diemen. A 1.5 hour detour to the lighthouse offers superb views of Motuopo Island. The path continues through the peach-colored sand dunes with great viewing points and will get you to Twilight Beach. You will then cut inland and cross through farmland before you reach the State Highway 1. To get back to the car park, follow State Highway 1 north for 4.5 kilometers. The loop takes about 6 to 7 hours with a total of 22 kilometers. Rangitoto is a dormant volcano island in the Hauraki Gulf north of Auckland. A scenic ferry ride of 30 minutes will bring you to the start of the trek at the Rangitoto Wharf. From here, the path climbs gradually through lava fields and a large Potokawa forest. At 259 meters, you will reach the summit and you'll be rewarded with fabulous views over Auckland and the islands of the Hauraki Gulf. The length of the trek is 7 kilometers return and takes about 2 hours, but there are many more options to fill your day walking around the island or enjoying the sun. Be aware that you'd best take some sturdy shoes for walking over the lava stones and take plenty of water as the temperatures are higher than in the city. Avalanche Peak will reward you with panoramic views over the Southern Alps and Beeley Valley. However, as the name imposes, this trek can be prone to avalanches, particularly in autumn and winter, and should only be undertaken with appropriate experience and weather conditions. The trek is very steep with 1.1 km elevation over just 2.5 km. The start is behind the Arthurs Pass Visitor Center and you can choose from the Avalanche Peak track, which is steepest and shortest, or the Scotch track for a more gradual climb. We chose the Avalanche Peak track and had great views of Avalanche Creek waterfall and the Beeley Valley. Once you get above the bushline, the track is very exposed and you'll have to climb along a narrow ridge. The weather can change quickly on this 1833 meter high peak. You're likely to encounter a cheeky kia. The Alpine birds are very smart, so don't leave your backs open. The descent is either via the same route or the other track. Alternatively, if you are experienced, you can continue along the ridge to the Crow River Valley. A marked point indicates where you should descend into the valley, as many others scree slopes and in bluffs. Once you have reached the Crow Hut, it will take a few more hours with many river crossings to get back to the Klondike Corner. Here you're meeting a highway again to get back to the visitor center where you started. Trotters Gorge is a perfect place to enjoy the scenery of fascinating bluffs and superb cliffs. The trek starts at the Trotters Gorge campsite about 6 kilometers from the Meraki boulders. The 4 kilometer one-way trek leads through native broadleaf and kowhai forest. You have a good chance of hearing some New Zealand native birds. The caves and cliffs were formed in the last ice age and the trek is mostly well formed. It will be 8 kilometers in total and takes about 3 to 4 hours. Good luck with these beautiful hiking treks and let me know which one is your favorite in the comments below and subscribe to my channel.